السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أيها الطلاب الكرام. اليوم سنبدأ بالدرس الرابع الجزء الثالث. Today we're going to take lesson 4, part 3. And this is where we left off. أين آمنة? Where is آمنة? هي, she, is, في, in, the, مطبخ. هي في المطبخ. أين آمنة? I want you guys to go ahead and repeat after me and answer. So somebody asks you, أين آمنة? Go ahead and try saying it. أين آمنة? Where is آمنة? هي في المطبخ. هي في المطبخ. She is in the kitchen. Now, we left off and I told you guys what was the deal with this dhamma. Like on the name before it, Muhammadun, we said Muhammadun with dhammatain. Why is this name, why does it only have one haraka? Well, there's something called mamnu' min al-sarf. And mamnu' min al-sarf means it is prohibited from accepting tanween. Sarf is morphology, so it's prohibited from this morphology. And here we're going to learn that all female names are going to end with just the dhamma. And if you turn the page, you will see page 23 that there are a few female names, most of them ending with ta, but there is a name like Zainab that also does not accept the tanween. I'd like to point out one thing in regards to feminine names. There are some feminine names that are 3 letters and the middle letter is sukun. This type of feminine name can end with tanween and it can be mamnu' min al-sarf, such as the name Hind. You can say Hindu or Hindun. So there's a lot of different versions, like if your name is a non-Arab name, it won't end with a tanween, like my name, Jibril. It will only be Jibrilu or Jibrila. And don't get too hung up on why does it end with a at the end. Usually that's reserved for feminine in my own language. But note, in Arabic, names could take on dhamma, fatha, kasra. But in the course of names that are mamnu' min al-sarf, they can accept that tanween. They only have either one dhamma or one fatha, and they don't take kasra. There's a subject for mamnu' min al-sarf, and I told you guys I would sprinkle stuff on there, and then later we'd come around to it just to get you open to the idea. But this is the reason why. It is mamnu' min al-sarf, which means it's prohibited from accepting tanween. The next example was أين الكتاب on page 21. We said أين الكتاب. So look around the room. Okay, there's a kitab. I asked you, أين الكتاب? You would say الكتاب and على المكتب. الكتاب على المكتب. Let's write that down. على المكتب. And once we get enough of these down, we're just going to read them and you guys will have to answer the exercise and the sample or the practice questions. So he said here, أين, get used to this word. Where is al-kitab? There goes that eraser again. I'm not doing this on purpose, by the way, guys. It just falls down. I'll move it over here. أين al-kitabu? Al-kitabu على المكتب. All right. Before the book is on the maktab, right? We mentioned exactly what it was missing, the book. What if I was to just say huwa? Oh yeah, that's a funny one. هو على المكتب. أين الكتاب? Right? أين الكتاب? Oh, it's a question. We said this means he. Does this mean he is on the desk? على المكتب. What should I put here, guys? كسرة, فتحة, ضمة. You might say, I don't know. Well, you should, because على is there, and we know whatever noun comes after على has to be kasra, because it's a harf jar. So, أين الكتاب? We first said الكتاب على المكتب. The book is on the desk. What if I replace الكتاب with huwa? Does this mean he? No, we said huwa can mean he is, or it could mean it for a masculine object. Kitab is masculine object. Okay? And how can you tell if it's masculine or not? If it's a feminine object, it'll usually end with this, the ta marbuta. Usually. There's always exceptions to the rule. Every rule I tell you, there's always an exception for it. At least 90% of the time. Okay, good. Let's keep this eraser away from me because it likes to drop to the ground. We're going to take now أين الساعة. That's a feminine one. And we just mentioned that if a word ends with that ta, as-sa'atu, here, 1, 2, 3, as-sa'. Just draw it when you're going. Shadda. Do I say aina al-sa'atu? Is that what I say, guys? You skip it. You skip those first two letters. Ainas. Ainas sa'atu. You don't even say ainal. All right? Because it's shamsiyah. Now, I could put as-sa'atu ala as-sariri. The watch is on the bed. But I don't want to use that word again, sa'a. So how do I say it is on? Well, do I use huwa because that's what we did earlier? Or do I use hiya because the sa'a is feminine, because it ends with this ta marbuta, this tied ta, this knotted ta. You would use hiya because of this being feminine. Hiya, ala, and go ahead and write this down, guys. You should be constantly practicing your writing. And if you need to stop, go ahead and pause, write it, and then play again. That's why we broke up these lessons, so that you can just take a couple of new things in this class, and we chopped it up into a much smaller, portion size. I know, people in America, we love extra large, double XL. We do always big. It was a funny thing. I remember when I was in Medina, and we were talking to our friends from England and London. They would say, man, you Americans, you guys love to have extra, double XL and triple XL. They'll serve you 64 ounces of soda with a hamburger. It's crazy. But anyways, so like I was saying, just make sure that you're practicing along, you're following along, and you write and you pause, and you take this in smaller portions. أين الساعة? Where's the watch? هي على. Again, just draw them. As-sariru, right? See if there's any mistakes here. I don't think so. Teachers don't make mistakes, right? Huwa ala as-sariru. Something is off here. You guys are smart. You guys know it. Ala is there. Ala does the same thing as fi. Whatever comes after ala is going to make it, ala will make the word after it majroor. Majroor means that it ends with a kasra most of the time. Okay, let's take some examples now before we run out of time. Open up to, well, you should already be open, but go to page 21 at the bottom of the page. It says tamarin, and this is where I'm going to read from the book, and you guys will follow along and write in the exercise blanks. Tamarin. What's the meaning of tamarin? practice, practices. Okay? أجب السؤال الأول. السؤال, what's the meaning of سؤال? Question. الأول, the first question. السؤال الأول. أجب, answer. عن الأسئلة الآتية. All right, let's read it all together. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Answer the following questions. أين الكتاب? What would you write? Somebody asked you. He's looking around. You know he's looking for something. Gets frustrated. أين الكتاب? Where's the book? Go ahead and put your best answer in there. Again, السؤال الثاني. Second question. أين محمد? Where is Muhammad? Put your best answer there. Okay? And you can take them straight from that other area, but I would try to come up with my own answers if you know other verbs or other nouns. Try to include them yourself. أين الكتاب? You can say like earlier. هو على المكتب. And أين محمد? هو في المسجد. هو في الغرفة. Everything, all of that works fine. Number 3. أين الساعة? Number 3. السؤال الثالث. I want you guys to get used to hearing the first question, the second question, third question. So السؤال الثالث. أين الساعة؟ على السرير. هو على السرير. أين ياسر? Where's Yasir? Think of something other than the words that you already did in this exercise. Don't say مطبخ, don't say غرفة. Say somewhere else. في البيت. هو في المسجد. You know. هو في المدينة. هو في المدينة. Just try to get used to breaking out of memorizing and getting stuck there, okay? Number 5. أين آمنة? Where is آمنة? آمنة, you know, في الحمام. All right? Here, they did something pretty clever, and this is going to be the last one we take for now. On السؤال السادس. So we took السؤال الخامس, أين آمنة? And السؤال السادس is آمنة. You guys see that? They put this hamza of istifham. That's a question. And we have the word آمنة, the name. آمنة. And I told you guys, people say these kind of differently. They'll say them fast when you talk to people. They'll say, Aminatu. They won't even mention this, but it's implied. They either erase it or they say it so briefly you won't notice it. So they're asking, Aminatu fil ghurfati. Aminatu. Is Amina in the room? What would you guys answer? Kayfa tujibun. Kayfa tujibun. How would you answer? Start with this. Amina. You don't have to say it, but we can. Aminatu. Or actually, I'm sorry, they asked about... My fault, guys. We're going to use answering with yes or no, because they're asking a question. You have to answer yes or no. Aminatu fil ghurfati. You would say, Na'am. Yes. She is. نعم هي. نعم هي في الغرفة. And that will conclude our lesson for today. Where is Amina in the room? آمنة في الغرفة. نعم هي في الغرفة. We're going to go ahead and stop there. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإلى اللقاء. مع السلامة الله. السلام عليكم.